In the heart of Africa, shrouded in one of the world's last great rainforests, a single river carves a line between two nations. Now, one of these nations you've almost certainly heard of, but this story is about the other one, the one that lives in its shadow. This is the Republic of the Congo.
The Congo River. It's a name shared by two completely separate countries. And yeah, it gets confusing. On the river's western bank lies a nation with its own distinct history, a really complex present, and a future that's still being written. And to understand it, we first have to untangle the map.
So, what's the real difference? Well, it all comes down to their colonial past. On one side, you've got the Republic of the Congo, with its capital Brazzaville, shaped by French influence. Then, right across the river, you see the massive city of Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or the DRC, which carries the legacy of Belgian rule. Two nations defined by two European powers, forever staring at each other across the water. But where did that name Congo even come from? To find the answer, you gotta go back centuries, to the Bakongo people. Their name means hunters, and it was their powerful Congo kingdom that first gave the river its name. And the river, in turn, gave its name to the nations on its banks. It's a legacy that's literally written into the geography of the continent.
And if you look at the capital, Brazzaville, well, its name tells you another piece of the story. It's named for Pierre de Brazza, the Italian-French explorer who signed the treaty that brought this land under French control. That one name signals the start of a colonial era that would change the nation's destiny forever.
So what happened after that colonial era ended? Well, things got turbulent. Independence finally came from France in 1960, which was a moment of hope, but stability didn't last long. By the late 60s, a military coup brought a dramatic shift, kicking off more than 2 decades of one-party, Marxist-Leninist rule. And just when it seemed like democracy might have a chance in the 1990s, the country plunged into a brutal civil war, a conflict that would once again reshape its entire political landscape.
And the outcome of that war brought one man, Denis Sassou Nguesso, back to power. He had already ruled during the Marxist years, and his return in 1997 marked the start of a presidency that continues to this very day, making him one of Africa's longest-serving leaders.
But here's the thing. Underneath all of this political history, there's another story, a story of immense natural wealth. Because deep beneath its coastal waters, the Republic of the Congo is an oil giant, the 4th largest producer in the Gulf of Guinea. And this single resource is the absolute key to understanding the country's central paradox. On paper, the economy looks pretty respectable, with a GDP of over $15 billion. But that number, it's kind of misleading. It's a figure built almost entirely on one single resource, pumped from deep beneath the ocean floor.
I mean, the scale of this dependency is just staggering. Look at these numbers. Oil isn't just part of the economy, it is the economy. It makes up 65% of the GDP, it funds 85% of the entire government's budget, and an incredible 92% of everything the nation exports is oil. The entire state is basically built on a foundation of black gold. And this is the great paradox. For all of this incredible oil wealth, the money isn't spread around equally, and the country constantly struggles with economic instability, especially when global oil prices drop. It's a textbook example of the resource curse, where having immense natural riches doesn't actually lead to prosperity for most people. So how does an economy built on oil affect where people actually live? Well, a shocking 70% of the entire population lives in cities. What this creates is a really striking reality, a country that's mostly centered on just a couple of crowded urban areas, surrounded by these vast, almost empty stretches of pristine rainforest. The numbers really tell the whole story. The capital, Brazzaville, and the coastal oil hub of Pointe Noire are home to the vast majority of the people. These two cities, connected by the vital Congo Ocean Railway, are really the twin heartbeats of the entire nation.
And within those cities, you find this incredibly diverse tapestry of people. The Bakongo, whose ancestors formed that great Congo kingdom, are still the largest ethnic group at 41%. Then you have other groups like the Bateke and the Mabochi, each with their own unique cultures and histories.
But we have to talk about a much darker side to this human landscape. The country's indigenous pygmy peoples face profound, systemic discrimination. This quote, from a report cited by a local human rights group, is startling. It points to a deeply troubling reality of exploitation, a kind of modern servitude that's still going on today. What's amazing is how this harsh social reality exists right alongside a completely different kind of wealth, the nation's absolutely breathtaking natural world. We're talking about vast, untouched rainforests that are home to staggering biodiversity. Places like the Odzalo-Kokua National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are a global treasure, a sanctuary for thousands of critically endangered western lowland gorillas.
So, when you put it all together, what you have is this nation of powerful contrasts, a country defined by its enduring challenges, a tight political grip, immense wealth that just doesn't seem to reach the majority, an economy that's totally dependent on a single commodity, and these deep-seated human rights issues.
And that leads us to the final question. You have a nation with so much natural wealth, both under the ground and in its vibrant forests, and a resilient population that has weathered so much turmoil. Can it forge a new path? A future where its incredible riches benefit all its people and finally break free from the paradoxes that have defined its story for so long?